Benvenuto.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to those who are here in the hall and also to those who are connected online. We are in the Sala delle Colonne at Giustinian, and we would like to illustrate to you the programs of the dance, music, and theater festivals. Lucia, Ronchetti, McGregor, and Stefano, Ricci, and Gianni Forte, the directors of the music, dance, and the theater sectors, are here. Pietrangelo Buttafuoco, the president of the Biennale, is also here with us, and I do give the floor to him now for his welcoming remarks.
Buongiorno a tutti.
Good morning, everybody. The programs for theater, dance, and music, which are presented by their respective directors, are, and according to what you're listening to, you'll enjoy and will also upload, are a clear witness to three disciplines which share the performing aspect, and they are acknowledging a millennial-old breath, and the choreography, the partition and the choreography are the primal meaning of performance. So the exhibition among living beings is the correspondence of the living mentioning that the audience has known forever. Those who are part of the audience acknowledge that the embodiment of the demon correspond to a strong agreement with the mentioning linger a while, moment, linger a while, thou art so fair, of mortal transience. And so what is passing by is represented by this act, and as far as we are concerned, it corresponds to the exact science of a very difficult discipline, beauty. The festival, the theater festival, which is proposed by Stefano, Ricci, and Gianni Forte, is a programmatic manifesto titled Niger et Albus, a dichotomy, which is expressed in a lineup of plays described by the directors themselves as a round-trip ticket to a transverse elsewhere. And it is the time when we, bearing witness to ourselves, can capture what one of my dearest friends, an accomplice of mine, had described in the light while the world at war around him was asking for a distraction, and he made the beautiful prayer which you all know, and I'm referring to Franco Battiato. Please upload his memory. When McGregor, with We Humans, reminds us that Dionysus, the divinity, is always there. Dance, which is born thanks to the sweating, which is permeated with fatigue and which is transferred through the heart beating. So the fact of being part of an exercise and being part of an exercise of misericordia, and it is a part of our heart. So the dance sector gives us to back the meaning, back to us the meaning of a philosophical mention, and thanks to which dance brings us to the awareness of being, the moment of beauty in which we recognize each other, where we make the effort of listening instead of making ourselves listened to. And this is part of the meaning of the word love, where loving is much more important than being loved. So the return, going back to a pure shape where we abandon the fatigue of a text, of an image of all the other languages. For Lucia Ronchetti is the stronghold of absolute music. The festival that she has been directed for some years in this city. She has turned a theme upside down. So thank you for doing that here in this city. The city which met through his funeral, which was told by the Illustrazione Italiana and by someone coming from Pescara in particular, Richard Wagner. So the absolute of music is something which makes us trembling. So we are grateful to her, and you'll find a series of events in the framework of this festival, which the statute of the ontological statute of sound is the basis, is the foundation for music. So I would like to make a connection with the 16th century Venice, where the music execution laid the basis for forthcoming centuries. So I wish to thank Lucia Ronchetti, Wayne McGregor, Stefano, Ricci, and Gianni Forte for their work. And also, and I also would like to thank the perfect engine of the Biennale di Venezia, those who have contributed with their professionalism and their love for their work. They have been able to provide the world with this jewel. So thank you, everybody, at the La Biennale di Venezia. So I wish to thank the Minister of Culture and the Ministry Gennaro San Giuliano, who has forged a very simple and curious concept, the responsibility of building the path for the future. This is what we said. And I also wish to thank the Regione del Veneto for the support it provides to the dance, music, and theater departments of La Biennale di Venezia. I wish to thank the RAI Broadcasting Company, with which we are renewing and now consolidated the partnership. RAI allows us to reach growing segments of the public. And I also wish to thank my former colleagues from the press world, former because I'm now given up that role. So I thank the audiences who attend in person and online our initiatives. Those who are always connected with dance, music, and theater shows that the Biennale di Venezia organizes. So I wish to invite you once more to attend our shows and this marvelous, organized by this marvelous engine. And I also would like to renew my gratefulness to Roberto Cicutto, with whom I have been an accomplice. He has been my predecessor, but I would like that we work together, and with whom we do work together even today. I would like to use the present tense because our friendship is the basis of our collaboration, and I do hope that I will not waste what he has generously and genially done, and which is our legacy today. So I also wish to thank the prefect of Venice, Danko Bellus, and I would like to thank Giorgia Pea, who chairs the Cultural Committee of the Municipality of Venice. I wish to thank Angelo Napolitano, who is the auditor of our accounts. I wish to thank also Tamara Gregoretti, who has just joined the board of directors. I thank Professor Amerigo Restucci, who's a bearing column of our board of directors. And I do thank also, because I do feel the need to do that, I do thank my two accompanying persons who have always been on my side during my studies and my profession. And in this marvelous factory, I can but thank that I have met Eric Corbin with his theory of imagination, with his skills of going in depth of what is invisible to make it emerge. And I do perfectly know that dance, music, theater, arts and architecture, and the words preserved by the archives are simply the perfection of imaginality. And in this philosopher, I was able to find the deep meaning of the work of the disciplines that share beauty. And so please allow me also to add the following, that God is beautiful and he does love beauty. And I also want to thank a great person who was able to impose something which was obvious in the past, that is to say, sharing the fatigue of scientists with that of artists. Pavel Florensky, who by his researches in the field of sciences, of mathematics, and being also an artist of the exact executions of the icon, was able to turn upside down some concepts, and allowing us to understand that we never look at arts, but arts do look at us, and they are our vehicle towards the the skies. So this is an institution that is in the world, speaks to the world, lives within the world, and feels what is in the world. And it has a special quality. And considering also the statements that were said earlier, I think that it is superfluous to add something else. So this is a house which is renewing its agreement with beauty, with freedom, and also of building bridges which allow peoples from all over the world, from all over the world to find again a meaning which was forgotten in the framework of the Olympic Games. So no closing, bridges only, so that the meaning of arts is the venue of critical spirit and freedom. Thank you. And let's now give the stage, not only the floor, to the directors, so that it will be possible to allow them be reassured that the Biennale works to go beyond the contribution of the Regione del Veneto and the Ministry of Culture, and to go beyond also on the basis of its ability of giving and finding resources. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. And now on to the directors for the press conference. I'm going to give the floor now to Lucia Ronchetti, who's going to share with us the ideas for the new Biennale Musica. The Festival for Music, the Biennale, is devoted to absolute music, pure music, instrumental music, electronic music, digital music, without any reference to images, vision, text, without any reference to stage or drama. Absolute music as a term was minted by Richard Wagner in 1846 to refer to an idea, a mirage, a utopia, something impossible. And immediately afterwards, it has been taken by many philosophers of theoretical music to think about music as a musical language that is made of extremely pure sound form that evolve over time when listening. During the 20th century, thanks to the new technologies, thanks to music as an autonomous language, this idea got reinforced because it was possible to record sounds and set it on a support. This is why the festival is going to present major works of contemporary music written together with top players of different scenes of electronic music, different improvisational practices, among which also the research jazz improvisation. As with other years, the Festival of Music is going to be connected to the history of music in Venice. In the 1600, one of the largest community of composers was set up here in Venice, something that is unparalleled in music and that still bears on contemporary music, so much so that in Venice, in the Venice School, the first repertoire for instruments, for music written for instruments was conceived. And this, again, thanks to the Venetian School that has investigated the technicals, the different techniques of playing music with instruments, and they've worked on the different tones and temperament. Wonderful instruments were developed. The clavitonum omnimusicum, for example, is playing instrument with 31 tones. Nicola Vicentino has developed the Archi organ with 36 tones. It is only through electronic music that can we understand today the complexity of their improvisation, which were truly pioneer. This is why we have 10 different sections at the festival, which refer to different aspects of contemporary music, of contemporary composition of music, referring also to, again, what I've said with reference to Venetian music. Polyphony is the first section, and it includes outstanding composers with a soloist orchestra, electronic processing, and this fusion of sound. Among the most important composers, some among the most important composers are here presented. We're going to have an opening concert with the Orchestra alla Fenice d'Esta, conducted by Tito Ceccherini, with the 2 Italian premieres, Wund with the ensemble and orchestra by the Golden Lion 2024 Rebecca Saunders, followed by the modern ensemble, the Lion, Silver Lion, and the first violin concert of Unsuk Chin, the renowned Korean composer, followed by the star of violin and orchestra, as again conducted by Tito Ceccherini. There's another important concert that's going to be held, is that of the WDR Symphony Orchestra of Colonne, presented Marco Momi work, a 40-year-old Italian composers, with electronic orchestra. The electronic is taken care of the IRCAM, and Mariangela Baccatello is going to play the piano, an important solo player from Italy. And this section is going to close with a concert including 2 major works that were commissioned to the 2 Italian composers that are internationally renowned, Luca Francesconi and Salvatore Scerrino. These 2 works are going to be entrusted to the Frankfurt Open Orchestra, conducted by Thomas Kugais. In this, we're going to have the repertoire of Italian compositions as played by foreign orchestras, while performing also the modern repertoire of international players with the orchestra of the Teatro La Fenice. The second section is a solo, is a section devoted to sophisticated virtuoso instrumental composition. We want to see whether an aesthetics can be expressed with one single instrument. So solo players are going to be performing. Bertrand Chamayou, wonderful piano player from France. He's going to play Virtuoso Pinch by George Benjamin and Unsuk Chin. And then we're going to have a world premiere of a very young piano composer, Miles Walter. In the second concert, together with the Cristofori Festival in Padua, we shall see part of piano fresco of the Spanish composer Posadas, Erinnerungsspuren. These are meditations, reflections on important piano passages from the past. So we're going to hear music analyzing past music with musical critique. Emma Levinson, great violin player from the States, is going to present a work of a young South Korean composer, Yeduk Kim, with solo viola. With electronic sounds, she's going to discover the breathing of this instrument, viola, transforming that into a new score, together with a presentation for an Italian premiere of 2 important works. One is a composition of the Iranian composer Bahar Roaye, and a composition by American composer Michael Pizarro-Liu, a member of the U.S. ensemble working on liminal music and the integration of silence into the sphere of instrumental research. The most important part of the festival, perhaps, is a performance of a sound in a festival with no visual space. We're going to have a space at Arsenale where the audience can go back and forth every day to listen to the top quality sound diffusion as curated by the French composer and sound engineer Thierry Goudouy. The sound chamber has been developed by Teresa Baumgartner, the German light designer. And at the center of this center, there's a disc clavier for the world premiere of the installation version of the piano space premiere of by the acclaimed Russian composer. And then there's going to be an improvisation with a disc clavier solo together with artificial intelligence that has been conceived by Alini Trang from Iran, together with an important festival of Linz. Absolute hallucination is the title of this work. Hallucination is a technical term describing those moments where artificial intelligence system makes an error because it develops something new. And this obviously provides an advantage in the hand of this programmer because the system finds out new connections as well as a new way of data processing. In this case, the data are composing and performative data. So we're going to have a conclusion of our long day with an improvisation with absolute music, despite there being any named composer. In this program, we're going to have the world premiere of a very young composer from Italy, Mattia Parisi, for multi-channel spatialization, and another world premiere by John Zorn, a famous composer from the US, who's going to share with us the installation version of its hermetic organ. Sound structures is a section dedicated to large-scale composition. The audience is going to listen not just with his ears and listening apparatus, but with the whole body. There's a percussion. There's going to be percussions. Percussions can even cause death. While people will be able to dance and move around, they could go closer to the percussionist to listen to different perspectives, and they can also run away. Two major works are going to be performed by Wolfgang Rihm and Gerard. Then we're going to have a Jörg Wire with two piano players and two percussionists that are extremely muscular in the terms of the power that they express when they play. They're going to present a world premiere of Lisa Streich, a young composer from Sweden, together with the Miller Theatre at Columbia University. And then we're going to have Vivaldi's Astro Armonico in the Chiesa della Pietà with Andrea Marcon, and a second concert presenting Skull by Rebecca Saunders, commissioned by the Biennale Musica in collaboration with Ensemble Modern and Oslo Sinfonietta Ensemble Contrechamp, Festival Achtbrücken from Cole. So it's a get-together that mixes up for this great composer. Absolute Jazz is another will feature four soloists from different cultural backgrounds. Georg Vogel from Vienna, who has developed a claviton, an instrument in which the octave is divided up into 31 tones based on the natural system that was first coined by Giuseppe Zerlino in Venice in 1558. Layal Shaker is a composer using a violin, presenting the performance of Carrare, where she plays a 6-string violin with an additional 3 resonance strings, specially built for her. Then we have Pierre Evans that is going to create original and synthetic sounds. Then we're going to have Tishon Sorey, an American black composer, which is known for his violence in his composition that actually involves and envelops the public and the audiences of contemporary music and jazz. Is incredibly powerful, and it is really the tip of the iceberg of a new generation of musicians that want to say stop with these division of different genres. We're going to have another section, solo electronics. This includes concerts that are going to be played in Forte Marghera, in Mestre, pavilion number 30. The audience will be able to walk freely. We're going to hear from different electronic music. On the October the 4th, we're going to have live music played by important musicians, techno-experimental. The concert of the October the 4th is going to be closed by the wonderful DJ from Mozambique, Cecilia Tosh. Then we're going to have a constant cooperation with the Berlin concert, with Richard Devine, who's the master of emateric and aggressive electronic music, together with a sound artist from China, Pandai Jin, and the most sophisticated composer from Denmark, Zult Zores. There's going to be a concert where another important institution from Germany, DAAD, is going to give as a gift 2 world premieres. In this concert, we shall hear from the Palestinian DJ Mutnak, together with Shol Ruli. And the concert is going to be completed by a DJ set of a well-known South African producer, who's, again, very known, Robert Machiri. This section is in clear contrast with the following one, that is Pure Voices. Voices is a meditative, static section where we understand that voices, as part of the choir, can create absolute music at a time when they are decontextualized from the text, or when the text is somehow destructured and becomes a liquid, fluid material that gives tone to the sung part. In the St. Mark's Church, we're going to have the final concert of the festival with the Cappella Marciana, as conducted by Marco Giammani, and a wonderful work by Lisa Streichs for 4 choirs in the different areas of the St. Mark's Church. The title of this work is Stabat. This is quite an exercise of spiritual experience, and is going to draw from the Stabat Mater by Giovanni Croce, a very important representative of the 16th century Venetian school. We shall conclude with yet another section, which is called Musica Riservata, which is a music that speaks of itself, a music that speculates on itself. It is a very speculative, hyper-virtuoso music. This is going to take place in the Salone Sansoviniano of the Biblioteca Marciana. That was, again, designed by Jacopo Sansovino. The audience of Biennale Musica can climb the wonderful staircase at number 13, St. Mark's Square, and before they enter into the reading hall. So people will be able to climb this wonderful staircase and will listen to the wonderful player of viola da gamba, the player Eva Reitner, with music by Saint-Colombe. There is another important musicians from Venice, Raccanelli and Contadin, together with a young Italian viola da gamba player, Tanassini, that will play music by Benedetto Marcello, and a world premiere by Isabel Mandri, a German composer. The final concert, which is perhaps the most important, is the one played by the Iranian composer and polyinstrumentalist Golfam Khayyam, who will present a concert based on the improvisation traditional Persian music. There is another cross-section, which is called Ricercare, a theoretical section, which is going to take place at 11 every day in the library of ASAC, as directed by Deborah Rossi, the library of the historical archives. And there's going to be lectures and conferences analyzing the meaning of music, music per itself, pure musical that cannot be verbalized, cannot be transcribed, what music is, and why do we feel that the language of music is profound and extremely communicative. There's going to be an award-giving ceremony for the best composition, best performance at the end of all the festival on October the 11th with Oscar Pizzo, who's the organizer of music, a scholar of new music. The catalog is going to be published by Oreste Bossini with a headline taking care of graphic design, including important contributions from international scholars that are now writing on the concept of absolute music. We shall have a photographer in residency, Marco Borgrave, who's going to make a portrait of the new public of the Biennale Musica, including over 19,000 people last year, with many extremely young teenagers and very old people as well in this wonderful city of listeners. All these people have been actively listening, a festival that was extremely difficult last year, and now we want them back. We want to take pictures of them. Andrea Verzu is the historic photographer of La Biennale, a most beloved photographer that takes extraordinary photos, is going to take pictures of the backstage of this festival. So we shall have two different photographers. The festival is devoted to Elena Leonardi's memory. She was a co-worker, a precious co-worker of Biennale Music. She died on March the 8th and left a major void in all of us. Thank you.
Volevo ringraziare.
I would like to thank Umberto Cecutto, the last president who has supported me over 4 long years. I would like to thank the whole team of La Biennale, and I would like to thank also the new president, Pietrangelo Buttafuoco, whom I wish great success and satisfaction.
The moment has come to speak of dance. We shall screen a short video, and afterwards, when McGregor will illustrate his festival.
Good morning, everyone. It's with great pleasure that we're here today to introduce you to our 18th Festival of International Contemporary Dance, We Humans. For thousands of years, we humans have communicated by moving our bodies rhythmically together. We've begged gods for sun and rain, displayed brute force in fearsome unison, paraded our love, celebrated joys and sorrows shared upon this earth, and whirled ourselves to ecstasy, release from the mortal pain. We no longer need to do this. We have plentiful ways, man-made and digital, to communicate our desires, thoughts, emotions, and intentions, to attract, explore, and nourish authentic connection, intimacy. And yet we persist, because dance is always within us. This expressive bridge, this in-between avenue, so immediate, so resonant, versatile, and powerful, that words alone can never replace it. Indeed, when there are no words, when our feelings are too strong, too complicated, too much to bear, relief and solace are found through the body, both in the healing touch of others and by the movement of our body as we shake, run, breathe, dance it out. We humans are movement. All communication is 80% physical. It's a rich, unrivaled body-to-body transfer, and body does not convey information to body in anything resembling verbal, let alone written exchange. Even a wave will be sent not by a disembodied hand, but by the whole human, including the eyes, the face, and the body position. Depending on the shape and dynamism of the gesture itself, an accompanying facial expression, the gaze, direction, the stance, and the posture, we humans offer and respond, interpret and misinterpret, laugh, love, and connect. Our dazzling communication through and with the body goes far beyond the swapping of signifiers by isolated body parts. It's an intricate dance as we feel out others' intended meaning, attempting to build upon, align with, redirect, or subvert it, offering our reply, having anticipated what's likely then to happen, and so on and so on. It's a dance because it's alive, because it defies fixity, definitive transcript. In this way, it's more reflective of our authentic selves than verbal dialogue, which makes it all the more compelling, interesting, empathetic, rich, and devilish. Again, we humans are movement. My 4th year as director of dance in Venice culminates in an epic festival exploring the very nature of what it is to be human. An eternal question that has occupied poets and priests, philosophers and politicians, scientists and artists for millennia, all in search, each attempting in their own special way to map and comment, pin down and undo, theorize and sense the vastness of human experience. In an age where technology allows us to see graphic events on the other side of the world playing out in real time, we are challenged at no other time in history to question where our humanity lies and to access it through a deeper connection with our own embodied state. Unwrapping the great complexity, contradictions, and mystery that is human life is a career preoccupation for the movement creatives invited to Biennale Danza 24. All of the artists and companies this year adopt the medium of dance as a philosophical act of communication, testing the fundamentals of our knowledge, challenging our notions of reality, and extending the understanding of our very existence. Through their work, they invite us to question where we have come from and where we are heading, whilst probing the essential within, the what and the why of sentience. So Biennale Danza 24 will continue our 4 program strands: live, film installation, Biennale College collaborations, and the talks and workshops program. This year in the live program, the artists are working collaboratively, often in partnership teams, with and through technology, or with analog means, utilizing AI as a creative and performative tool, or quite the opposite, and presenting work across unfamiliar forms in surprising political, social, and ethical directions. These duets of content, form, medium, and practice are revelatory, inviting us to reconnect with all that we humans share and all that we humans can achieve in dialogue, exchange, and cooperation. As we explore the radical shades of sameness and difference, we do so in the spirit of respect, mutuality, and common endeavor, climbing higher than we can solo. We're delighted to be commissioning and co-commissioning new work this year in a festival of 7 world premieres, 2 European premieres, and 11 Italian premieres, from iconic dance world leaders to emerging, innovative new voices. So that's over 160 artists will be live with us in Venice, 80+ events across 17 days. We begin with the exceptional, multi-dimensional practice of septuagenarian Italian artist Cristina Caprioli, our golden lion for lifetime achievement. Dancer, choreographer, experimental theoretician, academic, and curator, whose works advance an idea of choreography as a critical discourse in continuous motion, in which the creative act is never severed from reflection. Caprioli will use sites in Venice and Mestre as a canvas for her accidental encounters, intimate exchanges, and site-responsive miniatures. We are delighted to present 3 of her most recent works, very thought-provoking Deadlock, Flat Haze, and Silver, and look forward to her extended residency in Venice. Movement Radical and Biennale favourite Trajel Harel, our Silver Lion, brings 2 emotionally charged works for differing environments. Sister, or He Buried the Body, is a searingly personal solo by Harel himself, performed in an intimate, close-up context, whilst his tambourines, a raw and stripped-back version of Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter, sees Harel's extraordinary company dive into themes of race, gender, and politics in colonial America. Both works exemplify the fictional archiving with which Harel regenerates iconic and historical material in pre-existing forms of dance. In a European premiere and a Biennale Danza co-commission, and the first new stage work in 8 years by the Japanese artist Shiro Takatani, founder of the genre-defying dumb type, Tangent explores the theme of liminal space. Rooted in the interrelationality of art, science, and technology, this is a serene, beautiful, and dramatic stage work that deftly transcends the border between the visual and performing arts. Winner of our international call-out for exceptional new projects, Argentinian director, visual artist, installation specialist, and contemporary dancer Melissa Zulberti challenges convention with her multimodal and socially conscious body of work. In her innovative and interdisciplinary project designed specifically for Biennale Danza, Zulberti muses on the concept of time, guiding us towards the self, towards the origin. Chen Sung-lung, artistic director and choreographer of the seminal Cloud Gate, gives the European premiere of his new work, Waves, for Cloudgate's 50th anniversary. Collaborating with the talented digital artist, composer, DJ, and programmer, Data Manabe, they have set out to collect dancing body movements as digital data, metamorphosizing them through artificial intelligence, foregrounding an alternative perspective of how we see the world around us. The practice of Guinée Dare and Maria Campos has been developing over the past decade, investigates aspects of the principles of physics, and continues to expand, evolving towards the exploration of an extremely detailed time-space composition. In this way, their work is based on rigorous research of movement, designed specifically around physical tasks in relation to weight, geometry, space, time, and group dynamics, where the body is at the same time the subject, the object, and the tool of its own knowledge. Biennale Danza 24 will co-commission their new project, An Ode to Life and Its Fragile Atmosphere, an encounter between dancers that relies on repetitive and cyclical patterns of movement to evoke a hypnotic atmosphere that alters our visual perception and transforms it into a landscape of living entities. Dancing in Italy for the very first time, Afro-Colombian company Sankofa Dance Afro, founded by Rafael Palacios in 1997, has sought to build a bridge between Afro-Colombian peoples and the African continent. Behind the South, Dances for Manuel, is a tribute to the distinguished Colombian writer Olivella. Through choreography and dramaturgy, the performance references reckless omens, miraculous births, and liberation rebellion, expressing the pain of losing connection with the motherland and the nostalgia of no return home. Alan Lucien Olien's company Winter Guests comes to the lagoon for the very first time, with their first take on the widening void between the world and its humans, between nature and ourselves, through means of dance, buto, and contemporary theatre. Still Life, a Biennale co-commission, is a work that reveals itself through beauty and nature. This dance, as Olien posits, is an attempt to connect with our poetic self. Bold, vulnerable, and pioneer of hip-hop theatre turned photographer, Benji Reed mixes Afrofuturist imagery with hard-hitting tales from his life. Combining photography, choreography, and piercing theatre to make striking, surreal images in real time, Reed has invented an awe-inspiring new medium for physical expression. Find Your Eyes spotlights the gaze. See, imagine, recreate. And it is like entering Reed's photo studio while he shoots the pictures of three great performers. Movements and photos projected onto two screens are interspersed with memories of Reed's own life. Nicole Celia is amazing and a major figure on the Swiss contemporary dance scene, fascinated by the interface between the body, new technology, robotics, and machine learning. With her apposite new work, Human in the Loop, Celia asks what happens when an artificial intelligence creates a choreography live in front of an audience. She submits AI to a stress test, seeking to introduce it into the creative process with the dancers on stage, crossing the boundaries between the human and the artificial to explore the technological and the biological body. UK dance theatre mavericks Lost Dog bring their iconic blend of dark humour, physical power, and darkly dreaded grace to bear on Ruination, a witty and inventive reinterpretation of the Greek myth of Medea and her relationship with Jason. He's much shorter than you'd expect, and it's possible she didn't murder her children. A show about how love and forgiveness are not always the answer. Newly minted collective Miller de Nobili Dance Theatre, joint winners of the Biennale call-out for the emerging Italian choreographic talent, shares a vision that seamlessly blends breaking, contemporary and urban dance theatre with acting techniques to produce intriguing and emotionally charged works. With There Was Still Time, the dynamic partnership riffs of Samuel Beckett's seminal work, Waiting for Godot, to explore an unconventional combination of physical form and existentialist dread. Company Vivaday, also winners of the National Call for a New Choreographer, delve into the past with folklore dynamics, borrowing stories, proverbs, games, superstitions, and gestures from different traditions that take form in movement. How fascinating to witness choreographic teams devising work in partnership, where authorship slips between artists as they shape a collective and dual vision. The power, profundity, the technical skill, the unfathomable realization and pure poetry of the Humor Corporis Fabrica, an epic film installation by Paravel and Casting Taylor, make it a festival must for me. For the entire duration of the Biennale Danza, the experimental work of these exceptional filmmakers and anthropologists will provide the emotional and reflective spine to we humans. In 5 different Paris hospitals, the 2 filmmakers survey the most innovative endoscopic technologies that medicine uses to observe and operate, for a journey into the mystery of the human body that defies physical and cultural limits. It's at once dazzling and disturbing, an awe-inspiring treatise of the nature of us. The Biennale College has been a highlight of the past 3 iterations of Biennale Danza, with a program that has evolved and sharpened since its inception. Our ambition to connect our burgeoning young talent with unrivaled learning, training, mentoring, and creating opportunities has been fortified by the excellent teaching and mentoring we have experienced through internationally respected artists like Crystal Pike, William Forsythe, Shea Shin, Tesha Gawara, Simone Forte, the Merce Cunningham Trust, and many, many others. Each season, we reflect and revise our offer and work towards a gold standard in dance training in the context of this wonderful international series of Biennale festivals. Again, 16 young dancers from around the world and 2 young choreographers, selected from over 400 applications, will be resident at Biennale for 3 months, taking class, workshops, rep, and vitally creating new work. In a special large-scale site-specific commission this year, I'll be making a collaborative work with them alongside my company, Wayne McGregor, who will be in residence for the Biennale. And we'll be doing that in the monumental Sala Grande and the Palazzo del Cinema in the Lido, a high-touch, high-tech collaborative project. Continuing our ambition to have the greatest living dance artists working with Biennale College, we are thrilled that our students will have our 2024 Golden Lion, Cristina Caprioli, working directly with them in Venice. In a bespoke immersion in Caprioli's work, the young artists will have the opportunity to delve into this polymaths process through reconstruction, experimentation, social connection, and critically, in the creating of a new work, The Bench. Caprioli's rigorous intellectual and theoretical focus will also be excavated in lecture demonstrations, mentorship, and discussion. And this season, the Biennale College participants don't only work with 1 Golden Lion, but 2. In a 3-day masterclass from a living dance icon, a visionary artist intrinsically connected to Venice and to Biennale Danza from its inception, and dance's very first Golden Lion, Carolyn Carlson. We are very honored to welcome Carolyn back to Biennale Danza, to share her practice with these intriguing minds and bodies, and to thank her for her catalytic part she has played in our history. And additionally, 2 emerging choreographic talents will workshop, create, and present world premieres in the Biennale Danza, mentored by myself and the Biennale team. Collaboration has always been at the heart of our program, and this February, in a very special project for Carnival, Biennale Danza hosted in Mestre an incredible French-Canadian performance art company, Le Patin Libre, renowned for their high-speed choreography, unbelievably fast because it's on ice. They performed their hypnotic show, Murmuration, in a specifically adapted ice rink. At the same time, a curated program of created ice skating lessons, experiences, and parties were developed to share the thrill of dancing on ice with the public and make accessible this art form to many. Over 2,600 spectators saw Murmuration live, and a huge 1,120 participants joined them on the ice for workshops and for the parties. This summer, in Teatro del Parco, animation, film, theatre, music and dance will coexist in Antechamber, a work by artists and musicians known as Stereoptic. Their audience participatory show is the making of a short film about a boy reawakening to the wonders of the world and truly immerses the public into the way ideas take shape, how a character is materialized, how a story evolves. It's fantastical, fun, and fresh. Indigo Lewin, our photographic artist in residence for the 4th year, continues her portraits of the Biennale dancer, elucidating the encounters of our stages and the fragile behind-the-scenes moments to some of the world's greatest dancers and artists. In celebration of this unparalleled artistic choreographic archive over the 4 years, and in collaboration with Biennale Archive, we will format and publish a stunning photographic dance book to be launched at the end of 2024. Whilst filmmaker Ravi Dipre and his team will again shoot all of our stunning performances and performers in high definition in multi-camera captures for the extraordinary Biennale Dance Archive. Curated conversation, discussion, opportunities to meet the artists pre- and post-show, to delve deeper into their work and their artistic vision is both revelatory and insightful. We'll provide these encounters for 24 again, continuing and nurturing our In Conversation mentoring program with the Biennale's new group of young dance journalists and curators. We will provide a solid foundation for their future career paths, as well as inspiring our audiences with liberating debate. Each artist performing or presenting work in the Biennale 24 will offer workshops for a broad range of participants during our festival itself. This workshop program allows a diverse audience of professional and non-professional dancers to experience live the incredible physical worlds of our Biennale talent. Many of these workshops will be open to the public and actively encourage amateur dancers to participate and enjoy the power of dance in action. At the heart then of our International 18th Festival of Contemporary Dance, we humans are fundamental truths expressed in uniquely made living choreographic objects that speak to us deeply, wake our instincts, and prime our imaginations. Here, new models of co-creation and experimental collaborative processes outside of traditional mediums, as well as art forms in conversation with nature, science, technology, and politics, catapults us into unusual synergies with unexpected insights. Artists mining the expansive capabilities of the human to exceed potential, whilst together and quietly, gracefully, urgently, reminding us that what we humans share is far greater than anything that divides us. Finally, I would like to personally thank the whole of the Biennale team for their continued wonderful work on the festival, and in particular to former President Roberto Cicuto for his vision, his passion, intelligence, and wisdom over the last few years. And a very warm welcome to our new president. Thank you.
Siamo al teatro.
We now move on to theatre. With directors Stefano Ricci and Gianni Forte. At the end of the short video, they shall present us their program. Thank you.
Buongiorno a tutte.
Good morning to you all. In the beginning, everything was black and white. The contrast between good and evil in that eternal process of improvement that one might wish for every human being. The opposites mixed, the textures to be woven together between darkness and light. Only by overcoming this conflict can the individual advance towards a general progress. Middle Ages or future, the Archangel Michael against Satan, we are ruled by dichotomy. To transcend and dominate, to develop a spirituality by governing material tendencies is the only way forward. Niger et albus, in Latin, to speak of a dead language that has lost its vital energy. It describes opposites, the power of a rift, to stitch together a new specificity far beyond the aorn and anachronistic binary confines, to make a step forward on the path of self-realization. Niger et albus represents the strength to accept what exists outside and inside us, building the foundations of pride and respect for the differences that distinguish us, to achieve serenity and a solar disengagement from the fierce steps of a planet that expresses itself solely by begging for the self-satisfied gaze of the other. One's personal identity cannot be bestowed by third parties pursuing a transitory majority siren's song. It cannot be transformed into a mask behind which to get lost in pursuit of a status that smothers the desperation of not knowing who we truly are. Niger et albus is, from an artistic and moral point of view, about having the courage to raise one's head high and to spend one's remaining days in an existence that will inevitably come to an end. Pursuing a personal state of exciting fullness and progress. Niger et albus is the labyrinth, the inextricable path that accompanies us throughout the time we have lived. The ability to detect a path on instinct without relying on common sense, to avoid ending up at the very same point we started from, tired, deaf, satiated with bad food without knowing why and what we are looking for. Niger et albus is the effort of the rift, the revolution, the bomb-throwing righteousness against the compliant cultural disaster. Black, white, precise instructions, no hesitation, no second thoughts. If we're unable to imagine a better and more harmonious world, we will never have the means necessary to rebuild it. Niger et albus thus becomes, in this 52nd edition of the festival, the promise of a new light breaking through. Rich in magnetic performances and plays, it will continue to be a part of us all, interacting with our essences, our curiosity, our aspirations, contradictions, vulnerabilities, to leave us in awe as it speaks of the metamorphosis of a world in perpetual motion. With inventive strategy and the many perspectives of its highly diverse proposals, the festival will offer an unparalleled adventure, and for the spectators, it will remain in a space of desire, wonder, a crossroads for discussion and debate, resolutely radiating the vitality of the city of Venice and more. The Niger et albus edition will not appear as dichotomic thought, but will illustrate the indecipherable chaos of courage. Volatility defended to the bitter end. A rigorous deck of tarot cards with which to predict a possible future. The Magician, back-to-back theatre, Golden Lion for Life achievement of this edition will leave the first hand to its companions to later close the edition. The Empress Gob Squad, the collective which has won the the Silver Lion this year, we launched the inauguration and established the first divination, followed by the Fool, Ciro Gallorano, the winner of Direction Award last year, the Horse, Tim Crouch, the World, Mute Mago, the Wheel of Fortune, Elia Pangaro, the High Priestess, Georgina P. Stefano 14, the Sun, Fabrizio Arcuro, Carolina Balucani, the Hanged Man, Milo Rao, Death, Vaiva Grenite, La Pellite e Barducaite, the Lovers, Eliana Rotella and Fabio Condemi, the Devil, Rosalinda Conti and Martina Badiluzzi, Justice, Amir Reza Koestani, all striving to weave a divinatory warp and weft, a mosaic to interpret our future, our tomorrow, without considering other divination, other shows that are still being decided upon, which are going to be revealed over the next few hours. A festival to throw the doors open of the wide imagination and embark on this multidisciplinarity 2-week journey from the 15th to the 30th of June in the theaters, venues, site-specific spaces of La Biennale, through the experience of great ethical and political audacity and breathtaking aesthetics, exploring unknown worlds, sharing utopian dreams and deep emotions with their creations, with their exploratory research and the corrosive outlook on the current times. A lineup of extraordinary poetic visionary artists will mobilize to awaken conscience and outline the boundaries of a more desirable future, ripping open an unexplored universe to jolt our horizon of routine expectation, awing us with unforgettable performances, offering us the round-trip ticket to a transversal elsewhere. And it is in this transversality that we should set the back-to-back theatre, Golden Lion for Lifetime Achievement, golden pillar of Australian theatre for the first time in Italy with their creation, Food Court. Working on the concept of disability, showing the vulnerability of the organisms on stage, the disabled bodies of back-to-back become a way to give back to the human consortium the key of a new relationship with the boundaries of one's awareness. Similar tilting upside down of horizon is the one brought about by God Squad, the Silver Lion for this edition for 2024. Tilting upside down as if in a mirror, the role of the audience, which plays an active part together with Gob Squad. Gob Squad manipulate the certainties of our time and the beauty of our daily routine in a set of confessions which explode, analyzing manipulation mechanisms we are deep down in. The work they present in the world premiere here is in Venice, creation pictures for Dorian, drawing inspiration from Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Well, this reflects on age and on the risks of a forever beauty that freezes up senses, but especially so our souls. And then a supporter for the new drama plays in Italy. The winner of the ban for 2022, Carolina Balucani and Stefano 14, whose texts have already been given out for reading last year, become the true key player of the new production of the festival in this edition for 2024. Thanks to the vision of two directors that are guiding the contemporary theatre in our country. Georgina P. is going to stage Cenere, Ash, a text by Forte, on a familiar situation that is synonymous with hollow in the collective. Fabrizio Puri is going to devote himself to enchanted world of the teenagers in its ferocious essence of Addormentate, a text that has included also the gaze of Caterina Balocani. And now to close my own participation, my own speech, I'd like to say that during this 4-year period, we've carried out an important task that has been extremely gratifying and rewarding. I would like to thank most warmly the Biennale as a whole, its past president, Roberto Ciccuto, that enabled me to carry out this journey with all the difficulties. This itinerary has been completed with pride. To the new president, Pietrangelo Buttafuoco, I wish to wish again great success. No cultural revolution can build up something new in terms of. I would like to thank Francesca Benvenuti and her wonderful team of producers. These years have come up to something thanks to them, to their professional skills, to the support of our artistic utopia. And with reference now to the skills, the unquestionable skills of the producers, I would like to refer to one special professional, a self-denier professionist who died a few days ago, together with her ethics of her profession, with her assertive smile. She is the image that I am going to carry in my heart. It is true that we are made of all the others. And I'd like to dedicate this edition of the festival, the Biennale Teatro 2024, to Elena Leonardi. Thank you.
L'intreccio delle radici è la madre di ogni cosa, diceva Carl Gustav Jung.
Jung said that the crisscross of our roots is the mother of everything. This is why the focus of College Theatre 2024 is combination of Foucault's memory to link the future with the past, to try and look ahead at the future, to interpret the world today and its evolution. There's a lineup of a mosaic of 7 masterclasses that are led and moderated by an international body of masters to create bridges, to link together different speculations and doubts in the young artists that are the new creators for the future. The team includes a Gob Squab, Mutai Mago, Andrea Porcheddu, Gianni Staropoli, Tim Crouch, Vaivallina, Lepelte Barusghete, David Carnevale, with the 10 winners of the call of drama. Biennale Theatre 24 is focused on the center of training and passing on learning, and it works as a catalyst and fertile ground for innovation, diversity, inviting young creative artists to explore and speculate with boldness for creativity. The objective is to turn upside down perspectives by means of ongoing attempt to develop contamination. The artistic direction of Biennale Teatro is going to follow suit in its mission for scouting new artists to open up new paths. It is going to be a beacon, shedding light, identifying new way forward to overcome obstacles of the conventional points of view. The artistic direction will encourage, will promote young directors, authors, and for the fourth year on end, it will also promote a site-specific performance to start their path on a new world, as the president said, to become a blooming of verbal languages that are original, to shape new codes across pollinating them with potentials for imagination, feeding new technologies and techniques, innovation, bringing about innovation on the stage, leading their identities blooming, thus revealing among reality and invention wonderful worlds, uncommon worlds that are constantly changing. After analyzing all the applications, we're going to have the winners in the festival with the same opportunity as granted to their colleagues that are already well established. As for the call for direction during the festival this year, we're going to have a further shortlisting of 6 directors, and the absolute winner is going to be nominated with the world premiere of their work in 2025. As for drama, during this edition of the festival, among the 10 candidates, 2 winners will be appointed for, and their works probably will be put on stage by the future director, and they're going to be read in 2025. As for the site-specific tender, the winner of this edition for 2024, Elia Pangaro, is going to put on stage its performance every day of the festival at 6 p.m. between the 23rd to the 30th of June in Via Garibaldi. Elia Pangaro will present his performance, Bolidi, Deus Ex Machina. And there's going to be also Polina Sonis, a Russian performer, on the need to re-establish a new contact, a new connection with nature. We're living in a world where speed is marking our daily life, and it can bring about negative effect. The negative effect of this anomalous acceleration which is prevailing on the present time, doing away with all our dreams. As to the 2 winners, there are 2 women of the call for drama of last year. These are Eleana Rotella, and Rosalinda Conti, with Così erano le cose appena nata la luce. These were the things as light was started. These young artists, age-wise, with a sound background, are establishing new links, and we're going to have Fabio Condemi with the mise en lecture of Rotella, and Martina Badilluzzi for the mise en lecture of Rosalinda Conti's work. The text of Rotella, Livido, is a mirroring image of characters taken from the metamorphosis of Ovidius, some type of summer or speculation on the selflessness of contemporary times, on our incapability of listening with our identities missing any points of reference. Rosalinda Conti's text, Così erano le cose appena nata la luce, those were the things when light started off. with her bright imagination, she shows the emotion, transforming our body in emotions. 4 voices, dead of alive, 4 anomalies in the gaze, to stay still and look in depth at the landscape of our souls, letting us go to a second birth, to detect new interferences, to find the new balance which is another point of equilibrium. With Guernica, Picasso said that canvases are weapons, and stage is a weapon too. Theater is a weapon too. It is a weapon to fight peaceful battles, because theater enables a world of artists to warm up the hearts of each of us with their intimate sphere of poetry. I'd like to join my predecessors in thanking past President Roberto Ciccuto, in welcoming most warmly our new president, Pietrangelo Buttafuoco. And obviously, I'd like to thank also the staff of different departments. Communication, for example, is led by Flavia Fossa Marcutti. Print office guided by Emanuela Caldirola, as well as I would like to thank also Valentina Borsato. And last but not least, I would like to thank Francesca Benvenuti, who's in charge of production. I would like to thank all the technical team. Thank you very much for granting this wonderful experience and adventure.
Bene, proseguiamo.
We can go on with our streaming broadcast, and we open the floor if anyone wishes to ask a question and needs some clarification. You can do that. It's now the time.
Se non ci sono domande.
So if there is no question, well, it means that everything was very clear. Thank you. We look forward to welcoming you in Venice, and many of you in Venice will be welcomed. Thank you, and see you soon.